Computer, yes. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the weekly meeting of the Phrancko Sweater Knitters. This meeting is for anyone who has knitted a Phrancko sweater or is starting to knit a Phrancko sweater or wants to knit a Phrancko sweater or has ever thought about knitting a Phrancko sweater or you've heard of a Phrancko sweater and you're wondering what that is.
What it is, yeah.
Come join the meeting. We meet at 2:30 Pacific time every Saturday, and the link is available after you log in to Phrancko.com. You have to spell Phrancko correctly, however, and I don't have it on the screen today, except next to my name. It's spelled Phrancko. And today I am in Palm Springs,
Ooh.
Close to me.
where it's 103 degrees.
Oh no, I was feeling like it's so warm here, and I'm even wearing a cool thing. It's 77.
But I'm actually inside and don't need the sunglasses. I just did that for effect.
It's fun. It's 50 degrees here.
Palm Springs.
look like-
Wow, how wonderful.
This picture behind me was taken right outside the door of my hotel room. And
Oh, it's beautiful.
a full garden and swimming pool. And I'm just having a wonderful time. Went and played pickleball this morning at 7 o'clock
Oh.
in the morning before it got too hot, and played for an hour and a half. And I'm just loving pickleball. I've been playing it for a few weeks now.
My sister just started too. She's loving pickleball. Started.
It's just growing like crazy.
Yeah.
We
That's
were
fun.
at our son and daughter's last night for dinner, and their neighbor was playing pickleball, and we could hear the little noise, and
Yes.
John was like, "Oh, that's Mike. He's playing pickleball." But they
It
had
is
just
louder
gotten a
than
pickleball
tennis
court.
because it's played with a paddle with a hard plastic ball.
It wasn't loud or irritating, but they could just, since we were sitting outside, we could hear it a little bit, and I didn't know what it was, and he's like, "Oh, it's Mike. He's got the pickleball court going."
Hi, Allie. I can't hear you. I think you're muted.
I think that's all right now, is it?
Yes, that's good.
Yes, it is.
Welcome. I'm glad you were
Thank
able
you.
to make it.
Thank you.
Let's say
Thank you.
hello to everyone. Hi, Sumner.
Hey.
Hi, Mary.
Hello, Frank.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Will.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Rana.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Serena.
Hi.
And Allie and I have been having a conversation in the comments under one of my videos. So
That's
I
right.
invited her to join us today, and I'm so glad you were able to. Where are you located? You said we're hours different
I'm in the UK.
in the UK. Well,
Yeah,
if
so
Jenny joins us today. She's our regular member, and she's in the UK also.
Awesome. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, she sounds as though she's from the south, actually.
Is that right?
From the south of England, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she does. I was watching last week, and it was, you had somebody called Heather.
Yes.
And then I very briefly met up with her on the Suzanne Bryan boot camp.
Oh,
Yeah, I only realised that when I saw it, when I watched it last week of yours. And I thought, I know this lady, and she said she was from I think California, and I thought, and then I realised I'd seen her on your she'd come for the first time, I think, and you did the sweater run through.
That's right. I did the run through
Yeah,
for
yeah,
her, and
yeah.
because I'd
Yeah.
actually been wanting to do that in this meeting anyway, and that gave me a reason to do it.
Yeah.
There is something like that on the website, but it may not be completely up to date.
Right.
Wally,
Yeah, it was really handy for me because it
Oh, Lord.
recorded. So
That's better. Okay.
yes.
Hi.
Welcome back, Wally. We haven't seen you for a while.
I know it's been a very bad 2 months. My friend in Florida wasn't good. And then last week, my sister passed away. So
Oh,
I'm so
no.
sorry.
I'm the executor. So I've been doing all the mess.
Oh,
I'm so
Sorry.
sorry,
sorry to
Wally.
hear that.
Yeah. So, but I've been watching you guys on Zoom. So, here we go. got to put a light on. For, I did the first thing, I listened to you, Sumter, and I got 000 needles, and I tried them out. I tried them out, and I said, forget it, baby. I ain't putting my fingers in this thing at all. I sent them back. I can go as far as number 2. That's it. My fingers work.
Well, that's Ginny's fault.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Now I love it.
Well,
And oh, there's Cindy. Cindy,
Mhm.
I went back
Hi,
to my
Cindy.
original Argyle.
Oh, lovely, lovely.
Yeah, this is coming out beautiful. It's my new favorite.
Oh, that's so nice.
The other one that I
That
was
is
doing
just
was
gorgeous.
on bigger needles.
Yeah.
So I just tried, it wouldn't fit, so I just threw it out.
Mhm.
This actually fits. I just, and Phrancko, I've been listening to your voice all day do Intarsia. That's a great video.
I bet.
Very good video.
Oh, well, thank you.
I corresponded with someone on the Phrancko forum that was asking a question about where could you do a cardigan, and did you have to steek it or what you could. And so I mailed them and said to do it where you go into the projects and the Ravelry just at the top, the advanced search, do projects and search Phrancko. And it comes up with everything that everybody's ever done, or anytime that they've even mentioned Phrancko, because there's a few socks in there. But if you read the comments, the person is like, well, I'm doing this, but at the same time, I'm doing a Phrancko sweater, or I'm getting ready to do a Phrancko as soon as I finish these socks. And so it was really funny. But there is quite a few, and there's even a bunch of the ones that you have done from Cast On Magazine that other people have done. There's a beautiful one with the Argyle down the front. So if you haven't looked at that, which I had not, I didn't realize it was that. But
I will look at that. Thank
it
you.
was really quite cool. So just in projects, search for Phrancko, only not the whole name of everything. And then you'll see there's 4 pages of stuff.
In
really cool.
projects. Oh, and
Mhm.
somebody did an Argyle down the front, you're saying?
Yes, like the one that you did in Cast On Magazine. It's beautiful.
Did I do an Argyle? No, I haven't done an Argyle.
Well,
No,
let me
you're in
find it.
Tarja and Cast On.
Oh, well, it looks like an Argyle pattern. Let me find it and I'll tell you the name.
Okay, maybe I did and I just don't remember. I mean, there are those to see.
I don't know. Maybe they just did the thing and then they added the other thing. If I'm looking where my eyes are, just ignore me. I'm not looking at you. Actually, I'm trying to find that sweater.
Hi, Karen, you just came in. Want to say hello?
Hi.
So
Yeah,
nice to see you
guys.
again.
Yeah, I'm almost done with my Phrancko toddler sweater.
All
Oh,
right.
I
nice.
did a little rolled collar and I'm
Cute.
finishing
Oh,
the sleeve, and I'm really enjoying this. So I'm hoping I can do a big one.
I'm sure you can.
Not sure. Well, you
Yes,
think this
very
is
nice.
is it about a 2T, do you think? Or
I really don't know. I did do a little bit of research. When I first did it, I just made up numbers. It wasn't
Yeah.
even supposed to be for anybody to knit. I just wanted to have a sample that you could look at and say, yeah, I can knit a sweater like that. But then I found out people were knitting it and I thought, well, I better go and look up some measurements for children. And I don't remember what I found somewhere and borrowed some measurements. I think it was for a 2-year-old, if I recall.
yeah, I think that's about right. Yeah. So thank you.
Frank, I found it. It's the
Yeah.
Fox Frog Argyle is what the person named it. And they used the weaving diamond sweater pattern. And it incorporates
Weaving diamonds
Winged
is
Eagle.
Oh.
But they incorporated Glen Eagle's Argyle sweater. So they took your thing of how they were doing the intarsia and the round,
Uh-huh.
and they used it to do Argyles all down the front of the sweater. It's really beautiful.
Oh,
And it's
can you send me a link to that in chat?
okay. Oh, you're pushing my
I knew she was going to
pushing my
say that.
technical. Oh, okay. I'm trying here, Frank. Let's see. I got to get back to Zoom. Okay, here we go. And chat. And chat. Come on. Two. Frank.
While we're waiting, Karen, are you knitting that for any particular baby, or were you just knitting it to practice?
No, I'm not, but I was having my teeth cleaned the other day and my hygienist is pregnant and I said, "Oh, when's your baby due?" And I think she said October or something, and no, it must have been August because she wouldn't have been showing. And I said, "Oh, well, I'm knitting this sweater. I'm trying out some new techniques and I'm looking for someone to give it to." So maybe I'll, but her baby is not 2, so that's the only problem. I need to find somebody whose baby is around 2. Hers will be a newborn, obviously.
Yes. Or you could just work a little slower.
Oh, that's not a problem. I got distracted with, I'm doing Romy Hill's mystery shawl thing, and I got just totally distracted with that.
Oh,
I haven't done her patterns before. I've just always admired them, but now I'm gonna do one.
oh,
I don't know if you know her. She does a lot of lace shawls, very, very elegant, intricate.
oh.
Yeah, I've
You-
seen her.
You want to put her name in the chat?
Sure.
So were you all at a meeting last week?
I wasn't here.
Yeah, there was the TKGA.
Right, because I
Okay,
couldn't get
yeah.
on.
No, I was here.
No, I couldn't get on. It said TKG. It only popped up as TKG conference, and you couldn't get on to put in the Zoom on.
What?
Yeah, that on mine it was.
I
Where,
couldn't.
where it says usually Saturday at 2:30, it was the TJT conference. I said, "Oh, I guess they're all at the conference."
I had the same thing,
Yeah,
and I figured it was canceled because the link. I didn't see
Yeah.
the link. There.
that's
But
what I
today it
thought
was
too.
normal. So
I went to the
I
theater.
can't even understand that because I recorded it and just posted it, and we had a new person named Heather, and
Huh.
we had a regular meeting. I just posted it. Well, actually, I posted it on YouTube a couple of days ago, and then I got interrupted. I just put it on Ravelry,
All right.
but it's there. I wonder why some of you couldn't find the meeting and some did.
We were
That's
shunned out, Will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is something I need to explain about the weaving diamonds pattern. It is not, it got totally confused on Ravelry, and there's no way for me to straighten it out. What happened was that pattern was the Phrancko Sweater pattern, which basically said, here's what a Phrancko sweater is. If you go to Phrancko.com, you can make, explain the whole thing. You can make a custom fit pattern there. It costs $12 for the first fit and so forth. And I put a picture for, all of my sweaters are Phrancko sweaters. And so I put several pictures of other sweaters that I've published. They were all Phrancko sweaters. There is no sweater that is the Phrancko sweater. I've never knitted just a plain one, so I didn't have a picture to post. So the first one that I posted was the Cast On Magazine's sweater, Weaving Diamonds. So somebody at Ravelry thought, oh, well, there are two different patterns. One is that are using the same picture. So they're obviously the same sweater. So let's merge them together. And so the Weaving Diamonds sweater pattern on Ravelry became the Phrancko sweater, but its name is Weaving Diamonds sweater.
Ah.
So the best I could do
okay.
to go
Oh,
in
that's fine.
and then all these people had links to the Weaving Diamonds sweater when they were looking for the Phrancko sweater, or they were looking for the Phrancko sweater and went to the Weaving Diamonds sweater. I mean, it was just a mess. I wrote them. I said, can you please undo this merge? It's screwed up everything. And they said, no, there's no way to undo a merge. And so I modified the text. If you go to the actual Weaving Diamonds sweater, it starts out saying, click here to go to the Phrancko sweater. Explanation, if you're looking for the description of my most popular design, the Phrancko sweater, but ended up here, that is because of an unfortunate merge that was made. You can find the description and link to the popular custom fit sweater, the Phrancko sweater, at this page, and I gave a link to that.
Well, there you go.
And but now you see somebody said, I did a project and it was using the Weaving Diamonds sweater to do something that wasn't at all related to the Weaving Diamonds pattern.
Oh, God.
So that's a long explanation for a very confusing situation.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's what happens when we have AI. That's why you need a real person.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they want to go to AI a lot, it seems, in the theater world. Hi, Ron.
Hi.
Oh, hi,
Hey,
Ron.
Ron.
You snuck in while I was chatting away, I guess.
Happy local yarn store day, everyone.
Yes,
Happy
how's it
local yarn store
going?
day to you. Congratulations. How's it
Yeah.
going?
You know, we're doing great. It's been, we've seen a lot of people today. So I just wanted to drop in and say hello. Tim had to set up the ball winding station in here because he
Hi,
needed to
Tim.
make even more space.
Hi,
out
Wow.
front.
all right.
Wow.
So I just wanted to drop in and say hello. It's so noisy in here now.
I saw that you had a bee swarm yesterday. You had a little bit of an excitement out in front of the store.
Hmm?
Was there a bee swarm yesterday?
Yeah. Yeah. A swarm of bees moved into the building.
Oh, no.
No.
Wow.
Yeah. So we got a bee service out to get them relocated, but we had to shut down the shop yesterday to get the bees out.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Right. Well,
That's a lot.
Start day. You know, they did a great job. They got them out very quickly. Unfortunately, we found out at some point before the bee removal service got in, someone had sprayed the swarm with pesticide.
Oh,
Ah.
no.
Oh.
That's too bad.
I don't know who doesn't know not to spray bees at this point,
my
but
goodness. Yeah, we got to preserve every bee we
Yeah.
can preserve.
Yeah.
so we lost
Well,
hundreds of bees from that swarm, but most of them were saved. The bee service thinks that the swarm, wherever they were, might have gotten sprayed earlier and lost their queen.
Oh,
So they were swarming aimlessly, but they got them all moved into a new hive. They're going to get them requeened so that
Oh,
those
nice.
bees can survive.
oh, that's great.
Good,
Oh, I'm
good.
glad to hear that.
Happy ending, but it did have some
yeah.
chilling twists along the way that were pretty
Yeah.
unfortunate. And you know, this is an ag community. We depend on bees
You
more
need the
than
bees.
many
Yeah.
people, both as like an ecosystem and
Mhm.
industrially here. So it's kind of upsetting that people don't know that we need those guys.
That's tragic.
Yeah, and when they're swarming, they're not gonna be defending themselves at all. They're just
No,
looking
no.
for a
They
place
don't
to
have
go.
a hive yet. Yeah.
They don't have a hive to defend. They don't have any honey. They don't have any young. They're just like looking for a place to go.
Yeah, they need a queen. And even
Oh.
then, it's difficult to agitate bees. You have to be trying to get bees angry with you. They're naturally very gentle.
Oh,
But we did get them moved, and despite that one little snafu in our lead up to this event. It's been great today. I've seen lots of people. It's been
Great.
it's the best day of the year for a local
Good.
owner. People really respond well. Well, I'm going to get back to work if you don't mind.
All right. Well,
All right.
thanks for dropping
I just
in,
wanted to
Ron.
Thanks.
Say
Take it
hello
easy.
to everyone and give you greetings on this festive day.
Ron is at thetwistedskein.com, and that's his local yarn shop.
That's right. That's us.
And he ships nationwide.
And we ship nationwide.
Yeah.
And we are big proponents for the Phrancko sweater and the Phrancko method. We cheerlead for it constantly. So
Yeah, Ron, I think you hold the record for the most Phrankos and probably the most creative Phrankos.
Well, he
everyone
certainly
is
got that.
So
I'm just-
different.
I'm just weird.
Yeah.
All right. Goodbye, everyone. I'll see you all next week.
Bye, Ron.
Okay.
Ron,
Bye.
Bye, Ron.
So Allie, you're interested in knitting the plain and simple hoodie that's going to be published.
I am, yes.
Actually,
that's
it's
what I
supposed to
was
be
going-
published Monday.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I was going to ask actually.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to subscribe to that magazine, do you?
Yes, to be sure and get it, you have to do that. Otherwise, you could wait a year or more. And if I wake up and get my act together, I might publish it on Ravelry. But
Right.
I am prevented by their copyright policy to sell it on my own for a year after it's published.
I see.
So, but $35, you get a lot, and it's one of the best deals on the internet in knitting, I think. You get the next four issues of the magazine, and you get access to all of the back issues that go back for years and years. Many teaching articles available. It's all indexed. You can search for anything you want and find all kinds of information. TKGA is actually an educational organization. That's what they view themselves as first. So all of the magazines are educational. They have lots of teaching articles as well as patterns. And the patterns are often illustrating some teaching technique as well.
Okay. To be honest, it's not the money side of it or anything like that. It's simply, it's just time to read all these things.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? I have so many other things going on. I have so much online. I'm doing the Suzanne Bryan book. I don't have time to lick my lips these days. Never mind. I am just
But you
rushed
have
off
time to
coffee.
knit. I hope.
Yeah, I mean, I seem to be on Swatch Island, to be honest. I'm swatch all the time. So,
Well, that's good.
but I definitely will subscribe because I really like that hoodie. It reminds me very much of one that somebody knit for me, which was one of those wallabies. Those. However, when I got the pattern about that, I think you need a degree before you can. There's been so many variations of it.
Oh.
You go on Ravelry for the wallaby, and there's so many variations of it, better ways to do this. And the way the pattern's written, it's almost a bit like a chatty book.
Oh, really?
You know, and don't bother swatching, just use your swatch as part of your sleeve. And I'm not like that. I like instructions. If somebody tells me to knit a line, then go and have a cup of coffee in a blue cup, that's what I'll do. That's how I like it. You know, so yeah, but I very, very much like that pattern. When I saw it, I thought it was lovely.
Well,
Yeah, I love it. I can't wait to make it.
Well, you can start Monday.
Yay. I am on Swatch Island. I just finished an Argyle pillow. They come out beautiful, but I'm still going through these Argyles so that I can get the right one on the sweater.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm doing all these swatches for techniques on this boot camp. And I just don't seem to get anything else knit apart from the odd. In fact, my daughter-in-law's just started knitting. And in the time that I'm still swatching, she's knit rompers and all sorts in that time. So I'm still like
That's funny.
just knitting little squares.
Oh,
To the door.
your squares are for testing out different patterns. Is that what you're doing?
For the Suzanne boot
Oh,
camp
the
homework.
students. Oh, I see. Yes,
Homework. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
see.
So so that's what I'm doing. But I will subscribe to that. I mean, it sounds interesting, so I will subscribe to it.
Also, members have, I can also take courses that are really excellent. But you're taking a course from Suzanne, so
I am.
she used to be a teacher at tkga.org, and she went off on her own, I think. I guess that's a way to
Right.
describe it. And she's one of the most prolific teachers and one of my favorite teachers on the internet. She's just fantastic.
She is. Yeah, she is. She
She
had very
also-
good things to say about you as well.
Oh,
Suzanne also writes a lot of different articles for Cast On.
yes.
She just had a whole big series on pockets that were really, really good.
5
But
articles
there's-
on pockets, and I read all of them to get an idea of how to do the kangaroo pocket on the
Yeah.
the hoodie, the Phrancko's plain and simple hoodie that we were talking about coming out on Monday in Cast On magazine. And after reading all of hers, I then went and looked at videos that she had done. So I know everything Suzanne's ever put out about a pocket. And it helped me design a whole new way to do the kangaroo pocket. So I don't know of any pocket that's done exactly like it, but often what I found was the kangaroo pockets were just an afterthought pocket. Is that what it's called? Where you add a patch on top of the sweater,
Yeah.
and it doesn't have any depth to it. It just starts at one place and then goes down, wides up, and then attaches at the bottom. And so it's more like a loop on the front of the sweater. But mine has, I think I ended up with, I can't remember, was it 2 or 3 inches of depth? I went back and forth, but you can make it any depth you want, really. But the pattern is written for a specific depth. The depth is below the opening of the sleeves. The sleeves are diagonally shaped, and then there's pocket that goes down beneath the opening. That's what I'm talking about, the depth of the pocket.
Right. Right.
If you read the instructions, you'll go, oh, that sounds so complicated. How in the world am I going to do that? Because it talks about needle 1 and needle 2, and first needle 1 is doing this, and then needle 2 is doing that, and then and it's like, if you just read it, you will never understand it. But if you read a few lines and then do what it says, and then get to the next one, you'll be positioned to do the next thing it says, and it all just works.
Right.
At least I hope that's the case. It worked for me.
It's that way with all of the Phrancko pattern, that a lot of people can't visualize what you're doing at the shoulder when you're beginning. And if you just follow and do each step, trust the pattern, it works.
Yeah, and then it's like, ooh, look at that. It's like
There
magic.
it is. Look what I did.
Yeah, it's fun.
So Will, what have you been working on?
Can I see my pillow?
Well, unfortunately, I haven't been working on much. I've been so busy with work. It's the last 2 weeks of the semester, and so things have been pretty crazy, and I haven't been doing a lot of knitting. And the little bit of knitting I've been doing has been just plain garter or stockinette in the round. So right now I'm working on my first Phrancko, and I'm below the armholes, just working on the body, going around and around and around with some very simple decreases every couple of inches.
See, that's when it's good to bring it to this meeting and work.
Yes.
It's the kind of thing oh, you are.
I am, yes. I hardly have to think about it.
Knit, 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 knit. I love that part of the sweater when you just want to relax.
I do too. It's perfect for socializing or road trips or watching TV or anytime you're doing something else also.
My next sweater is not going to be like that. I've been working on this swatch for 2 weeks, I think. I mean, I have shown it before, but I just keep building on it. Let me see if I can spotlight myself. There we go. So,
There we go.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Oh,
that's such an
Ooh.
intricate pattern. That's
Wow.
beautiful.
I love it.
yeah, so I like this zigzag pattern down over here,
Mhm.
right there. And I also like this one here. Of course, the center one, that it's really hard to do this.
Yeah.
The wide one will go down the center, and I've done a couple of you can't tell that I've done a couple of variations of it. Down at the bottom, anyway, I'm trying out different variations of that, but it's going to be some version of that.
Looks like a Zen
Beautiful.
tangle for me.
Yes, yes. There's some connection, I'm sure. It's
Mhm.
Zentangle, and I've been doing that too.
Good.
In fact, you just said something that made me think of Zentangle when you said, "Oh, just follow the simple steps one at a time, as the pattern says, and you'll see that it just works." That's the way Zentangle is. You see somebody's finished product, and you think, "I could never draw that." And then they say, "Okay, start with a dot here, and then make a C shape there, and another C shape there." And by the time you just follow the instructions, you got this beautiful pattern, real small little pattern like that, but they're really fascinating.
Right.
I have designed at least one myself, but I'm not a what do they call it? A CZT. I'm not a certified Zentangle
Inspector. Yeah. Certified tangle.
But I actually had the thought, maybe I should take the class and become a certified Zentangle teacher.
You
But
better
there are
have
many of them online already, and I don't know if they need more. But I'm enthusiastic about it.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
I am. Thank you for bringing it to my attention, Rana.
Uh-huh. Unfortunately, because I am so hooked on it, and my focus is there now. So my knitting is really suffering.
Well, I have so many diverse interests. I don't know how I've had any time to knit. I'm also doing a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle that my daughter loaned me.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
And
nice.
I sat down to work on that for 10 minutes the other day, and 2 hours later, I decided I'd had enough. I mean, these things just capture me.
yeah.
Same thing with Zentangle, following videos and creating things. And then the pickleball, I've taken 4 classes of pickleball, and I've played 3 times already this week.
That's becoming very popular.
It really is.
They're opening up all kinds of stores around here with pickleball in them.
When I broke my foot, I was pretty much laid up for almost 3 months because it was broken in 8 places.
Oh, wow.
Oh no.
So I put together a 9,000 piece jigsaw puzzle. In fact,
Ah,
You
Uh,
kidding?
Oh
friend
my
of
goodness.
built a table large enough to handle it. And I had my foot in the cast, and I put that foot, because I was supposed to keep it elevated, up on the puzzle part and just work piece by piece. It was great, but you do get absorbed.
That's right. Unless you can't find a piece for an hour, then you like, no, I don't want to do this anymore.
That's when you invite friends over and tell them, give them a quarter if they can find where this piece goes.
So Franco, I had a question related to
Sure.
your Antarja video in the round.
Oh, yeah. Shoot.
I don't know if I can form the question well enough for people to get it who haven't seen the video, but you have an Antarja where you have two colors, just two,
Yeah.
one front, one back, and you can absolutely see the loop. I would love to be able to do the socks in the round, but that first color ad, you have one stitch. So there is no loop, right? Because you're only adding one color and you have another big block of color.
Actually, it is a loop. It's just a 1-stitch wide loop.
It's the one stitch little loop.
That's right.
Do
Yeah.
you get into trouble if you strand it over the bottom, say 2 stitches? Like, could you pick it up and correct it if you're up a level? Like, do it like Fair Isle for
Right.
one round or
For
2
one
rounds,
round to do that 1 stitch.
and then
Get
pick up,
the next one, and it's going to be 3 stitches wide. Is that the idea?
right?
And
Do you know what I
then,
mean? So you can
yeah.
at least have a little give with this loop.
Sure.
I would think it would be okay.
It is possible to do it with the 1 stitch, but you don't have to. In fact, you can do it however it works for you. Of course, it's your knitting.
Well,
And so
right,
you can strand across that loop. And then when you come around again, of course, that strand's going to be on the wrong side of the stitch, but it's only 1 stitch away. You could pull it back to do the
3
of the round again.
Right. And that's what I did with
But
this.
it's gonna malform that stitch. So you might want to do something like figure out how to loop it around another stitch
Like as a placeholder.
somehow. Yeah, so it doesn't. Otherwise, it's going to pull the right leg of the stitch back to the left, and it's going to be.
And that's what I've been doing. And I've been getting so turned around that I can't. I'm like, I'm done. And so I picked up a back and forth traditional. So I've done this just today. So I started this today, and now it's just a traditional back and forth, right? And I'll seam it. But I want to get to the point where I can do it in the round.
It's certainly doable.
But I think I'm gonna modify, like this piece here that I did like years ago. This is kind of both. Like it's kind of a weird, if you saw the inside of it.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
I can
So
see
it's kind of like
that's
like
a combination of
it's a hybrid.
stranded and intarsia. Yeah, I've thought about doing that sometime too, because that
works.
Is definitely a technique. And you do the intarsia at the 2 outer ends of the design, and then do Fair Isle across the design.
Right, that's what I did on this
one.
Yeah. So okay, anyway, it was giving me a headache, but I'm definitely working out the Argyle thing, and I wanted to show people my pillow.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
it turned
That's
out beautifully.
gorgeous. Yes.
Oh,
Very nice. Yes.
That's gorgeous.
Yep.
Wow.
Isn't that fun? And I like how they did the seam where you actually make a seam, you pick up both edges, and then you mattress stitch the middle of the seam.
Very nice.
It was a nice pattern. I had a lot of fun with it. Looks great. Overstitched the grid, where I usually do the grid at the same time as the other carryovers. That was just overstitching because I haven't been a good overstitcher. So I needed to practice.
By overstitch, you mean duplicate stitch? Are you referring to duplicate
Yeah,
stitch?
duplicate
Yeah.
stitch. So I'm gonna duplicate stitch the sock, and I wanted practice.
Yeah.
And then we can work on the Phrancko cardigan
Yeah.
with the Argyle. That's gonna be the right size.
Well,
So
if
it's
you
all-
really want to, if you really want to challenge, you can do the thin stripe as part of the intarsia. But every single one of them will be one stitch wide, which you just told me you love.
Right, well, and that's usually how I do
But
it.
they don't have to be at the place where you're changing directions. It's only confusing if that stitch is right where you're changing directions.
Right, and that's where, and it would be that there is one spot that it is going to be where you would change directions. So that's, because I tried it. And literally it's in the garbage, didn't even fry it.
The garbage.
Get out of my sight.
Well, now you've made a challenge for me. Maybe I should do one more video showing how to start an intarsia in the round where the first stitch of another color is just one stitch wide.
One stitch wide. And it just is like, I get it. But it's because of the point that it falls apart on me. So I just, whatever, I'll get there. You definitely keep me striving to improve.
Well, good.
And then, Will, you did one in the round, right? You did Argyles in the round, didn't you?
I've done a couple pairs, none recently. It's been several years, but there's a pattern called Albus Argyle socks. I want to say, who was that? Ann Burke, maybe?
It is Ann Burke.
Yeah.
Here's
I think
here's the pattern.
We posted that pattern last week.
Yeah.
That's her pattern. I can't get to the
It's
point where I
great.
can make it work.
I think, Frank, it's the same technique that you do in your video. I think it
It
is.
is. It
Yeah.
is. In fact, I studied her book in part of my process of learning how to do it.
Yeah.
I can't say I completely succeeded from there.
Yeah.
So then I watched Suzanne Bryan's videos on it, and I still couldn't get it. And then I just thought about it a long time. And then
that's where I'm at.
I finally realized, I mean, there were several questions that were always left in my mind. One was, do you do this special technique every time the color changes all the way around? Or do you just do it once at one spot and you do it once in the round? You just do that technique one time in the round. And what I realized with what they present as a special technique, drop the ball through the loop. And then half the time you can't figure out where the loop is the loop on this side of the yarn or that side of the yarn. It's really cross the old yarn over on top of the yarn that you're going to use next.
Let it go.
Even if that's a color section away. And so I came up with this idea that it's always the same thing. There's one rule for making the color change. It's just that it doesn't always look the same when you're doing it. But anyway, I know you can't do that from that description, but that's why I made an hour-long video showing how, and then another hour-long video watching me do it again. And
it's a great video.
Other videos. I mean, there's a whole lot of videos, and they're very repetitive, but it's because it's complicated to say, but once you get it, you can do it, and it's not that hard.
Yeah, I think I finally got progress today watching the video for the third time.
I found doing it that it was not, once I got going, it was not hard at all. But if I dropped a stitch or made some kind of mistake, fixing it was quite a challenge.
Oh.
I had to put it in timeout for quite a while
Oh,
at one point. But I think I've done 2 or 3 pairs of them. And I think if I did it more frequently, I would probably figure out how to correct errors more easily.
yeah.
Okay, well,
I'm not sure I
thank you.
remember having that problem, so I'm having trouble remembering why that would be the case. But if it happened, it happened. So Sumner, I guess I have to make a video showing how to do one stitch in a different color and then expand
Sorry.
there.
It's
I
it's
did
literally
a video
just
this week.
it's just the first 3 rows. Because after that, you could see the loop.
Yeah, then it's the same as. Did you see the heart video?
I saw it, I didn't watch it, so I know where it is. It's in my
It's-
like to-do list, but I'm not done yet.
Well, that's actually a playlist of Intarsia videos. They're all grouped together in one playlist. And so
Oh, okay, I will watch it.
that was the last one I think I did. I just said, okay, let's just show you how to do a heart in a wristlet size thing. Because I found that to be the hardest thing to do. 2 colors, no multiple colors, just 2 colors in a small circle. I found this is why I had a hard time learning it, because every time I would see a video or read Anne's book, I would try to do it on a very small thing with 2 colors, and I didn't know I was choosing the most difficult project to do. It's very confusing when there are only 2 colors and you're not changing the yarns all the way around. And then it's so small that you look at it and you say, where is the loop I'm supposed to put this through? And so I don't know.
That's been my fight. Where's the loop?
Yeah, where is the loop?
So, okay. Well, I mean, hey, I am gonna make your hoodie because I can't wait for that hoodie. I've got a
see it.
You are keeping me very busy. So
So I did a new video this week. I don't know if any of you saw that. I have one video that is much more popular than any other video, and that's the one on the improved method of doing magic loop. It's called the improved magic loop technique.
I saw it. It's
It's
great.
been viewed over 100,000 times, and it
ooh,
has over almost 300 comments. And many of them are just over the top, like, you've saved my life, not just you've saved my knitting. It's like over the top, and people get so enthusiastic about it. And I thought,
that's funny.
this isn't that revolutionary, it seems to me, but I don't know. It's
But
been
honestly, the book that was published for the Magic Loop, she didn't go into a lot of detail on a lot of things.
that's right.
And
And this technique,
I don't know why she didn't make a bigger book on explaining it.
this technique of moving the gap around 4 stitches every time, it solves the problem of having either a column of 2 tight stitches or 2 loose stitches at the places where the gaps are. It completely solves that problem. And a lot of people struggle with that problem in Magic Loop.
Yes.
And I like the placement of the marker too.
Yes, so that's what the new video is about. There are 2 questions that I've been asked over and over in the comments. One is, if you're moving the gap every time, how do you keep up with where the beginning of the round is?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't the answer obvious? You put a marker called the beginning of round marker, and that marks the beginning of the round, and it isn't where the gap is. It moves. but you just move it with
The moving gap.
So anyway, I've said that answer to so many people. I thought, well, let me make another video and just say that and show myself doing that. And then the other question is, how do you start knitting in the round in Magic Loop? And can you use your technique on the cast on row? And so I said, yes, you can. I didn't know I was teaching Magic Loop. I thought I was just teaching how to improve it when I made the original video, but it goes into it so thoroughly that it's almost a complete course in how to do Magic Loop, except it doesn't describe how to start the beginning. You know, what do you do with the cast on stitches to turn it into a Magic Loop in the round? And so I did a video to show that. And also show that the technique of moving the 4 stitches over to the other needle first before you start knitting them works. And then I added a tip of how to make the join a little more substantial, because usually the join just has one strand of thread between the 2 ends of the loop. So it turned out to be about a, I don't know, 10-minute video or something. And it's the first teaching video I've done in a while, and it got me excited to do some more. So now I know what else I have to do for Intarsia.
Well, I get a lot out of your videos, really. And I know you're busy, and I sometimes feel selfish, like I don't want to monopolize your time, but I've learned so much that thank you, you know.
That's really sweet of you to say, Sumner. I would like to post more teaching videos, but there's so many good teaching videos out there, and Suzanne herself has covered every single subject that you can think of. So I'm not going to try to duplicate whatever somebody else has done that has even done it better than I can. But when I come up with something new or some explanation for something that I think would benefit people that other people haven't been saying, that's what prompts me to do a video. And I found Intarsia in the round to be confusing no matter who teaches it. And so I thought I'll give it a whirl and see if my explanation can make sense to people. Maybe just seeing different people describe the same thing in different ways is the answer.
Actually, just as somebody totally inexperienced, you will never understand how valuable that video was on Magic Loop, where you moved it.
Oh, yeah.
It was incredibly helpful because when you say it's got a lot of shares, probably 300 of those were me cross-posting it to other groups that ask questions.
That's fun.
It was, and I was so glad when somebody actually said, what do you do with the beginning of the round? I thought, thank God somebody's asked him this. I wanted to know this. You see, and this is like inexperience. And I was doing socks, and I kept getting ladders down them. And because I had markers of where I was patterning the sock, and then stocking stitch sole, and I was moving, you know, my 4 stitches, because you said 4 stitches, so I did it 4 stitches.
Yeah.
So I was moving my way around, but then my markers kept falling off. And because I'm not that experienced,
Yes.
I couldn't read my knitting. So I wasn't
I should have
exactly
said
sure.
that in my new video. That's another.
Yeah.
You don't do the divide where you have a marker, because the marker will fall off.
Well, that's right.
So many times. I don't know why, but all of a sudden, like, where'd the marker go?
But I was ending up with it on 2.
If 4 stitches moves it is where a marker is, then do 5 stitches or 6 stitches.
Yeah.
It's not a certain number of stitches. I just chose 4 because 2 wasn't quite enough to make sure that you didn't have tension problems. 3 is okay. 4 is better, and then it's
Yeah.
not too many. But then the other thing is, if you're doing Fair Isle or cable, you know, somebody asked, what if your cable, you're coming up to a cable and the 4 stitches puts you into the middle of the cable? Well, how big is the cable? 6 stitches, 8 stitches? Do 8 stitches. Jump past the cable. And it's that simple.
Well, I did get adventurous. I mean, I did.
Yes.
Very adventurous for me anyway with it. And I was moving all kind of random numbers by the end of it. You'd have been proud.
Yes. Hey, this works. This works in all sorts of ways.
Just roll
But
the dice
anyway.
and that's how many stitches.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it was incredibly, and the amount of forums that where people are saying about I'm getting ladders on my magic loop, and I'm saying, have you seen this? I've got, and I'm posting it, so that's where all your views are coming from, Frank.
I see. Yes.
That's fun.
Anyway, it was a
I'm
great
just happy.
session, and I'll catch you all later because it's getting
Yeah.
on to 11:30.
Well, it is
at
about
night
time
here.
for us. It is about
Yeah.
time for us to end the meeting. We try to keep it to 1 hour. And so anybody have any last word before we say goodbye? Any questions? Any thoughts? Okay. Well, next week I'll be back home and I'll see you from there.
Have fun with
Okay,
pickleball.
bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye,
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Mary.
Have a nice
Bye.
week, everyone.